Hey, what's up, guys? It's me, John, the house guy. I want to talk to you a little bit today about the Shoals real estate market and the changes that we're seeing right now. Um, you may have noticed a lot of talk on social media and a lot of different places where people are talking about inflation and people are talking about the interest rates rising and how is that affecting the price of houses and all that kind of good stuff. So I just want to give you my one guy's opinion on that, and you take it for what it's worth. But what I feel like is happening at this point in time with our real estate market here locally, we're seeing a shift from the hyper aggressive market that we've had for the last 2 years, say from like 2020 Memorial Day to 2022 Memorial Day. That's been a period of time where we've seen a really high demand for housing, a lot more buyers than we have had sellers. That's starting to equalize a little bit now because the interest rates that are increasing are taking some of those bottom end buyers, those barely qualifying buyers. Now it's pricing them out of the market because of the price increases we've seen in the last couple of years. I don't think we're going to see pricing go backwards. I think we're still going to continue to go back to kind of what we had as a normal rate of appreciation here in the Shoals, back to that 2 to 4% per year, as opposed to the 10 to 20% that we've seen over the last couple of years where we've kind of caught up some to the national market. So what does that mean for you? If you're a seller, I've seen a lot of houses come on the market here recently, and it seems to me that they're, for this market, overpriced. And I get it. A lot of people have waited till the last minute, and now they're thinking, if I'm going to sell for all that good money that I've accumulated, I need to do it now. And now that's okay, but these folks, the ones that I've seen, a majority of them have been ill-advised by their real estate agent or not listened to their real estate agent, one or the other, because their pricing is so high, and I get it. They're shooting for the moon, hoping to land on the roof. But really and truly what it's going to do is just cause their house now to sit on the market. Whereas before that, before this adjustment that we're seeing now, I don't think they would have still been able to sell at that. Some people did sell for overpriced amounts, but they still would have had some interest. And now people are looking at it going, well, with the interest rate that I'm going to have to pay, and for now, what I'm going to be able to sell my house for, if they have a house to sell, then they're not going to be able to get that overly inflated shoot for the moon price. So if they really need to sell, then you'll see now, I think you'll start to see, and I've even seen some of this myself as watching the market, some pricing reductions, right? We haven't seen reduction in price in how long? Who knows? Another thing that you're going to see is the return of the open house. I've seen some agents advertising open houses now, and we haven't seen that really in. Do you remember those? Do you remember open houses? Used to be that you would have an event when your house went on the market and people would come and they would bake cookies and smell your house up, and you would go in and sign a list and all that. I personally, now there may have been some, but they've been very, very few and far between for the last couple of years. Those are going to make a comeback because listing agents are going to have to now work to sell these houses again. Ultimately, I believe, this is just, again, my opinion, what happened to us during COVID was we had a bottleneck. And so that time period where all these people, that spring, the spring that we all just stayed in our homes 15 days to slow the curve or whatever that was, that turned into like 4 months. Well, during that time period, a lot of people weren't allowing people into their homes. They weren't showing houses. The market really slowed down. And then when it picked back up, it was just a bottleneck of buyers that we never really got our feet under us after that, until recently now that instead of having so many buyers and so few homes, now we've had a certain pool of buyers from the lower qualifying end there. Now they're priced out through the interest rate side, so they can't buy a house. They got to stay renting for a little longer. So that affected them in that way, and that kind of cleared our buyer pool up a little bit now. We're, if we're working with qualified buyers who can afford to move at this interest rate, and it just is fewer people, right? So what am I telling people who are looking for homes in that new smaller pool of buyers? What is my advice regarding the interest rate? Well, here's the thing. You're going to be married to the house, not the interest rate. We all know that the interest rate is going to change. I saw a thing on Facebook this morning, actually. It was from the lighter side of real estate, and it was showing these rock bottom rates from 1985, and it was like 11 and 7/8%. So interest rates are going to fluctuate, right? So if you find a house that you love and you think you're going to make your life, you can make your life there and you can be happy there, the house is really what you're buying, right? The product that helps you buy the house is going to fluctuate and change, and you can always refinance it, right? So don't, here's my opinion. Don't buy a house that you don't love because you can afford it with the interest rate, okay? Because then you're just going to have to change the house and remodel the house, or sell and buy and do this whole process again later. When you fall in love with a house, when you find a house that you think will work, go ahead, get that house under contract with your agent, and then with it, you have to be able to afford it, right? You have to be able to afford it with this elevated interest rate. But as long as you can afford it and be reasonable, get that house, because I think we're going to see continued appreciation here in the Shoals of 2 to 4%, and it may do a little better, but at least I think we're going to go back to that normative increase that we kind of saw pre-COVID, and back to kind of more of a normalized buying and selling process. So the interest rate hike is not necessarily all bad if it helps us to not have to be so competitive. A lot of my clients and friends and people that find out when I'm in real estate, over the last 2 years, are like, oh, you guys must love it. You're killing it now. And the truth about it is, really, that's not true, because it has been so competitive that you have to write 10 offers to get one. So hopefully now we go back to a more normalized buyer-seller ratio that helps us to help our clients get into the home that they want to be in, and helps us to not have to work so hard to get a deal for you so that you can find that home. So all that being said, if you have questions about the real estate market here in the Shoals, or if I can help you find a home or help you sell your home, please don't hesitate to contact me. If you like this kind of content, don't hesitate to subscribe down below. Drop a comment of your thoughts. Maybe you agree or disagree on some point. I'd be glad to hear from you. I'd love to start a dialogue there in the comment section, and just kind of get some other people's intake on that. So hope you guys have a great weekend. It's hot out there. Stay cool and enjoy yourself. God bless.